One of the highlights for any runner is seeing the pictures after the race. If you've ran any of the Evansville area races, chances are you've had your picture taken by Rhonda Trail.
I'm Rhonda Trail, and I am a mom of two kids, two grown kids, and a full-time student, and I work at the Ford Center as a HR coordinator. I became interested in photography when I was a little kid. I always said I was going to grow up and be a photographer for National Geographic. And that didn't quite happen, but I've always been interested in photography. I used to run a lot, and I got hurt and would continuously get hurt. And it was kind of my way to stay in the circle of all the positive people and all the positive runners. And I started taking pictures for the Runners Club several years ago, and just kind of expanded into all the races. And I caught myself out there about every weekend taking pictures of races. Every local race, if I'm not running at an out-of-state race, then I'm home photographing races. I go home pretty much right after the race is over with, and I sit down and put the memory card in my laptop and start editing. I start going through the ones that are kind of blurry and start editing. There's a couple hours process after I get home, working on the pictures to get them put online for everyone to see. So there's quite a bit of work into it that people don't realize. It depends on the size of the race. If there's only 100 participants in the race, then my goal is to get everyone in a picture at some point, whether it's just a little snap or I try to get everyone finishing. But if that's not possible, sometimes it's not possible. But it just depends on the size of the race. For certain marathons, I've taken 1,500 pictures. It just depends. And of course, that's much more time involving after the fact, if I take that many. I have a lot of people that are disappointed because you didn't get me, you didn't get my picture. And they just don't realize that sometimes at the finish line, if I'm stationed there, there's a lot of runners come in and they stand in front of the camera, and I have to move several times, so therefore I may miss somebody. So it's not always easy to get everyone. That's why I try to get them at different points of the race, so I can at least say I've got them at one point during the race. This last Turkey Day run in Evansville, I've got pictures of so much emotion. I've got pictures of moms and dads, and older moms and dads running with grandkids. A picture of a man with a cane. Started out walking with a cane, and he finished. And I think it's just the emotion that you catch out there. You see so many different things. And so many people are so appreciative of the fact that I got that moment for them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have had it. I think probably Harold Carey was one of my favorites. He was very motivational and very inspirational. I have the pictures of him finishing at the first marathon that he ever did, which is the SIC several years ago. And I went out on the course and watched for him to come in, and it was just, every time I think about it, it's still kind of emotional. To think that he was 80-something years old and he completed a race, and I caught that on, for a forever moment. It was just, for me, that was a big deal. I've had people send me messages and say, I want to thank you so much because you got pictures of me and my daughter finishing my first race, her first race. And, I would have never had a picture like that. So I want to thank you for that. So I think that's what drives me to keep going and keep taking pictures. Just remember that when they see me, they need to start waving or whatever they're doing, acting goofy. It's a lot funner to watch them having fun than so serious. But I realize there are some that are serious too, but just know that I'm trying to get everyone on film and just wave and have a good time.
Here's your half marathon winner in the male division, Isaac Witzel, 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 40 seconds.
Yeah, it was real fun. It was a whole lot funner that I had someone behind me, and the course was really pretty. It was a really pretty run to run. Really fun overall. Kind of hilly, hard, tough, that's what happened.
How much did you have to train to get into shape to improve from, you finished 15th in a race recently, and now you're finished first?
High mileage, continuous going out and running. My dad's a marathon runner, so get out there and run with him. Longer miles and speed work.
One of the things I noticed about you guys, you finish so strong down the stretch. How do you pick up that kind of speed going down towards the end?
Well, we're training, I'm doing outdoor track and training for a 2 mile, so doing a lot of 800s and meter repeats and speed work, so it helps create a strong finish.
It was a hilly course, not your flat courses where people like to PR on, so definitely a little bit more challenging, but it was a nice scenic run and lots of rolling hills, so a little bit more challenging than some of the other runs I've done, but it was fun.
You guys had a good 1-2 finish there. Going to that give you guys a little inspiration knowing that you were that close to one another?
Yeah, I saw him. I was reeling him in at the end, trying to kick it hard, but I just didn't have enough to catch him. I closed the distance, or closed the gap a little bit, but just couldn't get him at the end.
I never expect to win, and I never come out. I try not to come out with a goal. It's not what a lot of runners do, but I don't. This year I didn't wear a watch, and I thought I'm just going to run my day and see how I feel, and I felt great. I expected to feel well this week, but I didn't ever expect to win. So there's a lot of good runners out here, and it's bigger every year. I love this race. So sometimes it's the only race I do in a year. I love it. To me, I enjoy it, and I'm lucky in that way. It's not something I have to go out and do, so or I don't look at it that way. But if you can just get out there, even if it's a walk or a jog, I mean, it changes my day, that's for sure. I feel a lot better the days I do it than the days I take off.
I mean, it wasn't one of my best times, but I didn't really have a lot of expectations for this race. I know the course is kind of hilly, but I just kind of wanted to go out and use it as a measuring stick of where I'm at in my fitness level for this time of year. It went okay.
How much do you train during the year to get ready for an event like this?
It depends. Right now I'm running about 45 miles a week. Normally I'll run maybe 50 to 55 in the spring, in the summer or fall. I'm usually in better shape in the fall than I am in the spring.
The course, I mean, your observations? You've run it twice now. I mean, what do you think about it?
There was a lot more hills than I remembered from last year. It's a nice course. There's some rolling hills in it. It was a little windy today, but it's nice. It's kind of open and it's a good course. Challenging.
And congratulations to all the half marathon winners and competitors. And let's talk about this pack and running in the middle of the pack and what it's like for some of these guys and girls.
Well, as you can see right here, we're coming up on the half marathon split, and some of them are happy to be turning right, and some of them are related to turn left to go for the full marathon. You see there's a big bunch of runners coming by here. Everybody's runs a little different pace, got a little different mindset for today's run.
I also, there's a lady run this race, Diane Weaver. She didn't run at all outside. All of her running's been on a treadmill, so this is the first time she's ran outside this year.
Awesome. CBS 44's coverage of the Southern Indiana Classic is supported by Bob's Gym. Stay tuned. We'll have more from the race after these messages.